Good morning. Welcome to Westside Unitarian Universalist Church, where compassion leads us to work for justice and equality. I'm glad you came here today. It is my hope that you will find something here that nourishes your heart, feeds your mind, and grows your spirit. To all of you who are joining us on Facebook Live this morning, welcome. Keep an eye out for our weekly email for updates on our ongoing reopening, as well as how to access our service online each week. My name is Michael Munoz, and I am your worship associate this morning. Be you a spiritual seeker, an atheist, or a theist, whether you find inspiration in the great books, the great outdoors, or great conversations, all are welcome in our inclusive congregation. To newcomers and old friends, both, together we say, welcome. A special thanks to our volunteers and staff this morning, our AV team, Jeff Rodriguez, Cindy Fountain, and Sue Anderson, our pastoral care associate, Brenda McKeon, meditation lead, Diane Austin, as well as our director of Lifespan Religious Education, Nikki Kennedy, pianist Yuki Kumamoto, sexton Jean McKeon, and office administrator Don McGee. Today, we are gathered to imagine Our Future Westside. The strategic planning team will lead us this effort, and today will be a different kind of service. After the offertory, instead of a reflection, we will break into groups here at church. And for you watching on Facebook, you will get on Zoom. You will hear more about that after the offertory. Westside strategic planning team includes Sue Anderson, Rocio Sarmiento Alaya, Cindy Fountain, Myrtle McMahon, Dwight Roberts, and Daryl Sellers. Please make yourself comfortable during the service. Sit, stand, rock, wiggle, or be as quiet as a church mouse, but virtually gather close as we listen to this morning's prelude.
Good morning. In his book, The Wisdom of Crowds, James Surowiecki writes about the statistician Francis Galton, who went to a county fair in England in 1906. At the fair was a contest to guess the weight of an ox. Nearly 800 people wagered on the ox's weight. Some were presumably experts, such as butchers and farmers, but most were not. When the ox was slaughtered and dressed, it weighed 1,198 pounds. Intrigued, Galton gathered up all the slips of paper with the wagers. He calculated the average guess, and the result was 1,197. In other words, the crowd of largely non-experts collectively guessed the ox's weight almost perfectly. In recent months, Westside has taken 2 surveys. The first, offered by the transition team, was given to discern the congregation's wisdom regarding the search for a new minister. The second was a 2-question survey offered by the strategic planning team. The purpose of this survey was to seek the church's wisdom about the path we want to take over the next few years. Both surveys are strongly related. While ministers are important, We cannot rely solely on a minister to create a future for us. As alluded to in the ox-weight guessing exercise, we, the church, have the collective wisdom to determine our own future. Today, we continue to seek your wisdom as we work together to discern the nature of Westside's future. For instance, in one form or another, 17 survey respondents would like us to build on our welcoming atmosphere, to engage with our surrounding community, and to become more diverse in an area that is almost equally Hispanic and white. More specifically, one direction that many spoke of was to use this space to build community and to serve our neighbors. Kim Hart reminded us we had such a limited time to enjoy the full use of our building before the pandemic closed it down. I look forward to seeing it become a more vibrant place in the neighborhood that serves the Fort Worth community. Julie Duderstadt echoed Kim on using our building all through the week. Other members remarked about our beautiful building, our lovely garden, and how inviting our space has become. Similar to the ox weight guessing, individuals have responded about different ways to use our building, both to engage with our wider community and to refocus on our West Side community. Collectively, they have recognized how we can build on our own strengths as we plan for our future. Let us worship together this morning.
A flame within a chalice, a cup with a stem and foot, represents the Unitarian Universalist Association, or UUA, and is a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. The flaming chalice is a symbol of both the heritage and of our past and the light of hope within our church today. If you have a chalice with you at home, please light it with me. Our chalice words into the circle comes from Reverend Dr. David Breeden. We gather into this circle of care, to dream, to envision, to embody and achieve the compassion we dream, the justice we envision, the dignity of each in ever-growing circle of love and justice.
Our chalice lighting hymn is number 362, Rise Up, O Flame, performed by Stan Yoder, live.
Rise up, O flame, by thy lights glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy lights glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy.
Our opening hymn this morning is 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, performed by the Sellers family.
Come, come,
Please join me in reciting our affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church, and the quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. Dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. Our time for all ages today, Journey of the Birds, is performed by Unitarian Church, First Unitarian Church of Worcester, produced by Juliet Donaldson and Abigail Hannaford Rickardy.
This morning's story is inspired by the ancient epic poem, The Conference of the Birds, by the Persian Sufi Muslim writer Attar. Once upon a time, all the birds in the land decided they needed a leader they thought would make their community stronger. Representatives of all the birds gathered to discuss finding a leader. A leader will tell us the right things to do, said the robin. Our leader must be wise, said the owl. A leader must believe we each are important, big and small, said the tiny hummingbird. I want the leader to be caring, like a friend, said the dove. Yes, the leader will help us share and get along better, said the jay. The leader must make us feel safe, said the hawk. I know where you can find such a leader, said the red-crested hornbill. It is the Smeorg, and he lives far from here. The birds were very excited. They said they were willing to go anywhere to find such a leader. It might be dangerous, said the hornbill. A few birds looked troubled, but all the birds voted to go and find the Smeorg. The hornbill took off, and all the birds followed. They flew in sunshine. They flew at night. Days and days passed. Some birds got tired and left the group. Other birds were filled with doubt. How did they know the Smeorg really existed? Only the hornbill had ever heard of this bird. Some of the doubters dropped out, but others kept flying. One valley was filled with a fiery mountain. All the birds were afraid. I'm too small to make it over that mountain, lamented the tiny hummingbird. No, keep flying. We can make it together. We will help you. And they did. The strong flyers helped the weaker flyers. The birds with good vision helped find food for the group. Along the journey, the birds learned how to better respect, share, and care for each other. It seemed that every bird had something special and unique to offer that made the journey easier. Finally, the hornbill announced, "We are here." The other birds looked round in anticipation. "Where is the Smeorg? We don't see it," they cried. "Come, it is over here," said the hornbill. The birds stood beside Hornbill and realized they were on the edge of a lake. They looked in and saw their own reflections. Then they understood. The Smeorg was not another bird. The Smeorg was all of them. All of them were the Smeorg. They remembered that each of them had something good and strong and special inside of them, and that each bird had gifts to bring to the community. They were all that was needed to keep the community strong. They knew now that together they could do anything.
Good morning. I am Brenda McKeon, your pastoral care representative this morning. In our community here at Westside, we make time each week to share pieces of our lives with one another. We do this because each person in this community has value. Each person's experience matters. Please submit your joys and concerns to the caring team by emailing us at pastoralcare@westsideu.org or contacting any member of the team. We share our concerns with one another and sorrows with one another, knowing that concerns and sorrows sometimes come into each other's lives. Knowing that they are shared, we offer comfort. The first is a concern from Cindy Fountain. Attorney General Ken Patrick and Governor Greg Abbott do not have the authority to disrupt the lives of trans kids or their families. But this does not discount the fear they create with their unconscionable threats which may embolden their followers to act and hurt in harmful ways. There will be a link in the Westside UU Weekly with details about how you can support the trans kids and their families. Please hold our own trans kids, Westside families, and all others affected in your hearts. That's from Cindy Fountain. Not every joy or concern can be shared. We also share our joys with one another, knowing too that joys come into our lives, knowing that your voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. The joy this week is from Debbie Rake. Debbie spent the past week at the Fibers Art Retreat at UBAR Retreat Center. A wonderful time to meet some new UUs, women who are all being very creative. Not every joy or concern can be shared openly with your community. Some must be shared eye to eye or simply held in our hearts. We recognize that some of you do not have voices with which to speak the depths of their pains or the height of their celebrations. We make each space in our to celebrate in musical centering, knowing that the life and experiences of each person matter, and together our light shines bright. Thank you.
As we hold joys and concerns among us, both those spoken and unspoken, let us center to 1020 Wayoya in the Teal Hymnal, performed by Mark Vogel.
We are going, heaven knows knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be mighty and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. 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 Oh yeah, yeah.
I invite you to relax your mind and body and join in a time in meditation. It will begin with a poem, A Prayer for Peace by Ellen Bass, which spoke to me in our situation with the war in Ukraine and with all wars everywhere. After the poem, we will move into silence. Our prayer bowl will sound to signal the start of your own meditation, prayer, or reflection, and it will sound again at the end. Prayer for Peace by Ellen Bass. Pray to whomever you kneel down to. Jesus nailed to his wooden or plastic cross, his suffering face bent to kiss you. Buddha, still under the bow tree in scorching heat. Adonai, Allah, raise your arms to Mary, that she may lay her palm on our brows, to Shekinah, Queen of heaven and earth, to Inanna in her stripped descent. Then pray to the bus driver who takes you to work. On the bus, pray for everyone riding that bus, for everyone riding buses all over the world. Drop some silver and pray. Waiting in line for the movies, for the ATM, for your latte and croissant, offer your plea. Make your eating and drinking a supplication. Make your slicing of carrots a holy act. Each translucent layer of the onion a deeper prayer. To hawk or wolf or the great whale, pray. Bow down to terriers and shepherds and Siamese cats. Fields of artichokes and elegant strawberries. Make the brushing of your hair a prayer, every strand its own voice, singing in the choir on your head. As you wash your face, the water slipping through your fingers, a prayer. Water, softest thing on earth, gentleness that wears away rock. Making love, of course, is already prayer. Skin and open mouths, worshiping that skin, the fragile cases we are poured into. If you're hungry, pray. If you're tired, pray to Gandhi and Dorothy Day, Shakespeare, Sappho, Sojourner Truth. When you walk to your car, to the mailbox, to the video store, let each step be a prayer that we all keep our legs, that we do not blow off anyone else's legs or crush their skulls. And if you are riding on a bicycle or a skateboard, in a wheelchair, each revolution of wheels a prayer as the earth revolves. Less harm, less harm, less harm. And as you work, typing with a new manicure, a tiny palm tree painted on one pearlescent nail, or delivering soda, or drawing good blood into rubber-capped vials, twirling pizzas. With each breath in, take in the faith of those who have believed when belief seemed foolish, who persevered. With each breath out, cherish. Pull weeds for peace. Turn over in your sleep for peace. Feed the birds, each shiny seed that spills into the earth, another second of peace. Wash your dishes, call your mother, drink wine, shovel leaves or snow or trash from your sidewalk. Make a path. Hold a photo of a dead child around your Visa card. Scoop your holy water from the gutter. Gnaw your crust. Mumble along like a crazy person, stumbling your prayer through the streets. May it be so, blessed be, and amen.
The purpose of the church is to encourage all who gather here to grow, more generous in spirit and in action. This is the great end of all world's faith traditions. To bring the human being closer to divine by acts of creation and compassion. In the spirit of generosity, Westside chose to reach out to the wider community. We now take an offering that will support this self-supporting church and its ministries. Our plate offering for February will go to Journey Forward. Journey Forward is a nonprofit organization founded by Kathy Taylor, a lifelong DFW resident. In 2013, Kathy's 27-year-old son, Corey, who was shot and killed. Finding it difficult to navigate the criminal justice system and unable to find resources to help her and her family cope with the loss, she started Journey Forward. Journey Forward services DFW area by providing resources and counseling for victims of gun violence and other forms of violence to support them through their trauma. The group helps victims process their grief with free trauma-informed counseling, EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing therapy, supports and help navigate the criminal justice system. Journey Forward provides outreach through its educational curriculum in partnership with schools, churches, and community youth programs. This workshop teaches nonviolent intervention to youth experiencing and coping with gun violence. Journey Forward also advocates for common sense gun legislation. The gift of this congregation will be most gratefully received here today through the Vanco mobile app, the church website, or check by mail. Please enjoy this musical offering performed by Yuki. Thank you for putting into practice the spiritual virtue of generosity. Our giving connects us to the wider web of community. Now, Dwight will take us into our next part of the service.
In our opening words, I spoke about the collective wisdom of our members in using our building to engage our neighbors. And there's more. We heard from more than 50 of you. Many expressed fond memories of all the things that are most near and dear to us, like our fellowship times of coffee hour, potlucks, our social justice work, and educational opportunities. People also thought outside of the box. Ridge Dickey said, how can we optimize search engines? Leela Woods talked about phone trees, and Amy Stubb, consciousness-raising events with our partner organizations. It has also been acknowledged that we are stretched thin on both financial and people resources, and that a minister search could take some time. How do we reinvent our church in light of these realities? The wisdom of this church regarding its future can help us find the right minister and will allow us to be clear about the future we are asking them to join us in seeking. And will be most effective to new members when we more fully become who we are as a church and engage our neighbors in what we do. So let's get ready to do more dreaming. We invite you to address one or more of the following questions. They're going to put up on the slide here. We will break into groups here and on Zoom, and after taking some time to compose your thoughts on the index cards provided, or the virtual index cards for those of you who Zoom, we want you to share your ideas with your group if you wish to do so. Before we do this, Michael will extinguish the chalice, and we will end our live stream service. Thanks for joining us on Facebook, and look for the Zoom link in the comments, or check the email you received this morning to join the virtual group. Yes, visitors, you are welcome to join with us today as well.
The flame is extinguished. Excuse me. See that? The flame is extinguished, but not our hope for the future. Our courage is the face of crisis, or love we share in all the world. Join me in the congregational closing. Let us go in peace, believe in peace, and create peace in our lives and in the world.